Morning, Tuber. Well, this is truly for the insane. You can see on the roofs, and if you look on the road, this is the weather even I don't like riding in. Road tyres and ice, people, do not go together at all. And it is blisteringly freezing out here. Now, on my visor, it has got some toothpaste on it this time. Colgate Extra. How is it going to work? I bought the sunglasses and I forgot to bloody put them on. Now as you get out on these roads, they should have been salted, so they're a little bit better. But again, not relying on front brakes at all, going at a speed that I can stop. Throttle's off now completely, letting the bike slow down. Just trickling round. Slowly does it, people, slowly does it. But what a day. And you see, you can ride a bike even in the ice, even in the snow. You just have to adjust your riding. And it is still absolutely gorgeous out here. Yeah, the Colgate toothpaste, people, not done a sodding thing. Visor steaming up as normal. Right. Now I did actually buy as well, I think it's muck off anti-fog spray. So that's the next thing I'll try on it. And where you've really got to watch is like where there's lots of trees like this, because there's no sun getting to the road, whether they're salted or not. They can still really ice over. As I say, once you're upright like this, it's not that hard, to be honest. And you stay warm. That's the other main thing that you really need to do when you're riding in cold weather, is stay warm. Do not go out with not enough layers on. I'm well and truly layered up underneath here. Potholes for you. Letting the gearbox of the bike slow me down. Not even touching my brakes, people. And you can see there. You see the ice in the road there? You can see the white on it where it's salt and white. And just let your throttle off. Lower your feet down, and that vitamin D is our lifesaver there. Bit of sun on the road. So how many of you are going to do this then? Real winter's heading on its way in now. And it'd be interesting what the bike's like once it's been serviced. You know, white vans just don't slow down, do they? Driving like an absolute lunatic. You know, don't think you can't crash on four wheels, people, because you can. We come out in icy roads to beautiful sunny city centres. Salford Museum there of Art. I mean, you can't knock it, people. You just can't knock coming out on a day like this. It's like, for me, just no fear of riding in any weather, really. You know, it's like ice is a different thing for me. Ice is, you can still ride in it. I mean, I rode in much worse weather than this when I was permanently on a bike, when I didn't have a car. And it's an astonishing thing. The solid year that I done on a GPZ5, I've done a lot of years on a lot of bikes, but the main one, the only bike I've been knocked off, physically knocked off, not of my own fault, was a GPZ500S. And I'd bought it and got divorced. And I thought, when I divorced, I thought, I'd always had old bikes, and I thought there was enough in my house, I'll go out and buy a bike. And I went to Tommy Rob's many years ago when it was there on the Manchester Road in Warrington, and I always liked the GPZ. You know, I'd ridden faster bikes since then, but I just liked it. I just thought it was a beautiful looking bike. I had it after owning it in the dry on a sunny day. A car pulled out on me. Now, I'd ridden through snow, ice, rain, wind, traffic, you name it, I'd ridden through it. And it was a clear sunny day like this. And that day, I used to drive for Warrington Borough buses. And I decided I'd forgotten my dinner, so I'd dive home in my break, because I had an hour. And where I was from the bus station home was 10 minutes on a bike. And at that time I had all leathers, so I had all my gear was leathered gear with pads in the knees, really nice stuff. And I didn't put the bottoms on. I put my boots on, I put my top on, put my jacket on, my gloves on, off I went. And the car just pulled straight out the side road. Didn't even see him, didn't get a chance to see him the way he come out. He just come out, he didn't, if anything would have been coming from the near side, from his side of the road, it would have hit him. I didn't have a chance, and by the time I'd hit the brake, I'd hit his back wheel and I was over. And that was 14 months then, recovering with a broken leg. Well, my leg the bone would snapped in my right leg. It'd come out through my actual skin. And my kneecap was shattered in half. It was actually split in half. They glued my kneecap back together. So that took me 14 months to recover. And with that, because I'm not a person that just lies down and does nothing, I went and done a few courses. I had a friend that took me to a place called Cytec, and because I still couldn't drive, I was still mobile, I could walk around. I went and done a 3-month course on Cytec, which was an MVQ level 3 in network design. Always into computers, built computers for people at that time, and that actual thing that I done got me a job in IT. So at 30 years old, when I was back on my feet, I was still driving, and I thought I'll apply for a job as an IT engineer. I've got this MVQ, and I applied at Pinot Computers, a Greek guy that owned it. So I was building the computers for him and working in the warehouse. So I'd done about 3 months with him, and then I applied for a job with RCM, which was a subsidiary of IBM. It was a hardware division of them, and it was based out of Kings Winsford. And that's my life started. My wage increased. That's what helped me along my life, because of tenacity and the approach of don't give up, and that's the way you should be. Like I say, some people have more than you, some people will have less, but it's up to you to make an effort in that. At Manchester, you've got 3 branches. Got Blackburn, Manchester and Triumph, Honda and Suzuki. Fabulous place to call into, they look after you. And this is my way of saying thank you to them. Let them keep the doors open for their lads. Although, probably the service guys won't be too happy. Oh, look at that. Right. So we'll say hello to them when we come in. And it's even nice here. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! What a day, eh? Yeah. All the best, Joe. Happy New Year! Have a good... Pardon? Yeah. Oh, it's crap. It isn't. It's... Oh, let's take that off. Right, people. So, it's a quick ride into Youles, servicing my bike. So while I'm here, we might as well do the walk around and see what they've got. A bike we all want. The Gullwing. Amazing piece of kit. I know what 2025 prices will be on them. ADV scooters. The Youles lads working hard there, keeping it open. An amazing bike, the CBR 650R. The scooters are doing well. Have the ADVs gone down 1,000, Dave? 11.
Quite a few models have dropped in price because of the 25 model coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know the Transalp's gone down £1,000, hasn't it?
Has, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Stephen Harding, very lucky man. CB125. If you've never ridden 125, they're amazing little things. You'll have lots of fun on one of these. Again, the E-clutch is probably second to none. Just the DCT is probably a little bit ahead on it. As I say now, within probably all Honda range, the new Transalp or the old Transalp, which there's not going to be that much difference between them. £1,000 saving on them, and that's a cheap bike when you're knocking £1,000 off it, isn't it? An absolute stunning bike. If you've never ridden one, get into Youles or get into any Honda dealer and have a ride. Tremendous. New NX500. And the mighty NC, a new one to be coming out shortly. So probably by March you'll see a new NC coming out. I mean, that's for the manual. 6,999, 7,000. The DCT is normally about £800 more. And the NX looks really nice in black, doesn't it? And then people's dream machine for off-road, the Africa Twin. What colour would you have? I've got to say, I think if I was to buy the Africa Twin, it would be in the multicolour. It would be in the blue. And that, you know, £15,900. And then you've got all the accessories you can add to it. Again, the NT, I've not ridden the NT yet. I never got a chance to get one, which is basically just the Africa Twin, but on a road version. You know, £13,500. That for me, people, would be certainly a retirement bike. The Gullwing, if you've never ridden the Gullwing, it is just such an amazing motorcycle. A lot of money, but worth every penny of it. Let's have a look upstairs. And there we go. The little like scooters. These are fabulous little bikes, you know. These, in excess of 100 to the gallon out of them. Let's go and see what they've done for New Year. Is there any deals? KTM. That's a nice little. Little green laner. The 750 ADV, another bike. You know, it's a bike, when you ride it, it's absolutely fabulous, but it's in its own little area. Now that's a nice looking Kawasaki for a retro, isn't it? Tom Jordan, welcome to your new Royal Enfield. You're going to need to do a lot of polishing there, mate. The Hemi, which I've owned one of these, cracking little bike. You see people do a lot of green laning on them. They're a heavy bike though, with 200 kilograms, and with all the other bits on, they add up. But will take you anywhere. A Z1000R, if you want to go fast. And is that an even faster one? No, it isn't. It's only the 650. Oh, they've got a 0 in here. Wow. Now, I don't know where the price is on them. 11 kilowatt. Not really. I've not really looked at all into electric motorcycles, but that's got one stand on it. Look at the size of the stand on that. Wow. And it looks quite a really slim bike. And then we have the CMX 1000. Rinky Dink's got one of these. Loves it. Again, a little 310R BMW. Now I keep saying, people, this is an old bike, but they've just got that magical look about them. I think that's a bike that will just, in the future, will just go up in value. It's Marmite. Some people love it, some people will hate it, but it's an absolutely fabulous bike. And what's it on at? £5 grand. Honestly, that is really the original DCT. It's a 700cc V-twin. And I think that they were bigger in America than they were here. So it is one of them, people love or hate them, but they're absolutely amazing looking, the way that's been engineered. That's when Honda actually spent the money, you know, on everything. Really didn't care what they spent. Proper cruiser, absolutely beautiful. Single-sided swing arm on it. It is just such a futuristic bike, you know, and that's a 2008 model. So it's 15 years old, people. Well, older, isn't it? 18, 17 years old. It's a 17-year-old bike. And it's got 14,000 miles on it. Just short of 15,000 miles. It's got less than 1,000 miles a year. The Hornet, never go wrong with them. CCM, never ridden one. But a motocross bike. Real thumper, single cylinder. And that looks lovely, the CV1000. It looks like a proper retro bike on there. Now I'm sure if you come in and you may be able to haggle with them. Well, that's a funny looking BMW, because that is definitely a Honda. So possibly this is the BMW that they're on about. The GS1250. Got a price on that? No price showing. KTM. They are an absolute beast of a bike. That is an absolute... The mammoth to look at, people. They're actually the size of them. I mean, I can't even get my fingers round them forks. They're just... The build quality is astounding. Such a shame with KTM. The way that's heading. And that's a big saving on an Africa Twin, isn't it? £106 miles, £12,000. That is a big saving. And if you want to go to the older Africa Twin, which I'll tell you now is just as good. And that's only 9,000 miles, 9,500 miles, £8,000. You know, when you look at what them bikes cost new, that is a really good price. And I don't get sponsored at all by Youles. I do this because I enjoy it, and it's nice to see new bikes. Nice to see. The other thing about doing this is you walk around the showrooms and you see, as you go through different showrooms, what the prices are in the different showrooms and the layout and what stock they've got. Because you find with dealers, they've all got their own, what they prefer to have. Now, you'd never ever go wrong with one of these. I have owned two of these, this version of Honda NC750. And that was the first one that I ever bought, that colour. Electric blue. Stunning bike. And considering I think that bike was only 5,000, just over £5,000 new, my DCT, it's £5,000 now. How old is that? A 19 plate. Mine was a 15. And it's got quite a few little bit of extras on that. It's got a nice card for the screen. It's got a nice... I like the screen on it, actually. The screen does look really, really good. It's really, really tidy about that. It's a DCT. Oxford heated grips on it. A massive 56 litre box on the back. And I wonder if it's got panniers that comes with this as well. So I'll ask down the Youles and see if that comes with panniers with it as well. That may even have panniers with it. We've just took them off to fit it in. That's a lot of bike, people. And do you know something? Don't think for 1 minute. I've got the 23 version of the NC750 DCT. That is equally as good. Honestly, they were equally as good as each other. As a YouTuber, don't take all the hype that's saying the later one is better than the older one, because it isn't. They've both got their own characters. They're both excellent to ride. For me, to be quite honest with you, the suspension, it's a little bit taller than the new one. And even though it's heavy, it doesn't feel it. But lovely bike. Never ever go wrong with one of them, people. Dead easy to service. And you know, maybe that's a way I could get into a Gullwing. Wow. £12,000. Can't get into the side of it to see it, but I know people that comment to me on the channel, they love them, and it appears a lot of them prefer the manual Gullwing than the DCT. But you've got to ride them both. You know, you've got to own the bike for a while to actually do that. An Indian. That's a beast of a bike, that. And the Harley Davidson. I mean, really, that is a lot of bike for £12,000, isn't it? What year is it as well? 22,000 miles, so it's not done a lot of mileage for this sort of thing. Don't know what the servicing are, so anyone that owns these, let me know. But they are amazingly built, aren't they? A lot of people are into these Daxes and the Groms. See, a lot of people really like them. And again, another Indian. That's a strange looking clock on it, isn't it? Very simplistic on them handlebars on that, and very, very low ride of that. Big belt drive on it. So that, people, is our quick walk round Youles Honda of Manchester. Lads in here are always here to help. Really good, no pressure. There's no forced sales here. You'll always have a good laugh with them. Right, people, that's it. Youles Honda Manchester. Oh, she sounds better, doesn't she?
Yeah, sweet engines, aren't they?
I absolutely love it. Yeah. Really, really does take. It will take a lot to get me off them. Yeah. But as I say, what the new one's going to be like comparing to it, I don't think there's going to be. The brakes are going to be better, and you've got a flashier dash. But I think that's it.
Yeah, they've changed the front end a little bit, haven't they? But
yeah, the plastics.
But I don't know. Is it worth? I've considered enough to warrant changing it?
Well, that's it. Depends as well what the price will be, because they've dropped £1,000 off these.
Yes, this is it. Same thing. Transalps, isn't it?
Yeah,
Transalps,
that's a lot of money off your customer base.
Yeah.
So that for me to look at it, where a bike maybe had brought it in for part X, even under the PCP, it has still have had its value. It's lost £1,000, and unless they've kept that new one up at that, you know, the new price, I think they're going to sting themselves a bit there.
They're very nice bike.
Yeah.
All right, pal. I'll
Tone,
go in
thanks,
as soon
mate.
as that comes in, and,
Yeah.
you enjoy the rest of your day.
I w-
Go to the dentist.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Right, people. So now the mighty NC has just been serviced at Youles. I'll go through the service sheet, what they found. There is a couple of things on it that they pointed out. And I've also, while I was in there, I was conned into buying the muck-off anti-fog spray, and it's in the helmet. And to be honest, it's working. But saying that, it's not as cold as it was this morning, and my indicators are working. And it's starting to fog up a little bit now, people. So no, the muck-off, as you can see there, it's not working that well. So we've had up to now we've had Gillette shaving foam, which is a fail. We've had Colgate toothpaste, which is a fail, and we've had a muck-off anti-fog spray, which is a fail. So the next thing we'll put on, we'll try the potato, people. Gonna knock you off here. Because we're at blue skies. It was icy this morning when I come out. My bike's been serviced. And you just can't beat it. So let's see what 2025 brings for us all. And all the best to you. So Bertrand Biker, ride safe, be kind to others. And we'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra.